Just gonna check if the audio is all good before we get into qualifying. All right, and hello everybody. Welcome to BRL Season 11, Round 6 here in Australia. We've already got 3 people watching. People are wanting to watch this stream, which is good news. We've got 19 drivers out there on the grid so far, and it should be 20 in a second. Let me just make sure we can try and get him in just before. Yeah, Demon, here we go. Right, okay. So we should have all 20 drivers on the grid. Only a few reserves in Jimmy Jags. And there you go, D-Move has joined. So Jimmy Jags and Aram left, 2 reserves here. But other than that, everyone here, full-time drivers, love to see it. Obviously here now, with just 3 rounds left, the title is still close for the Drivers' Championship, but we're just going to quickly run through the Constructors at the minute, as that one looks to be the more done one there. Racing Bulls on 162 points compared to McLaren's 115, and they don't really show any signs of stopping. Tyler is back though, so they could maybe find some form from that. Ferrari also on 101 points currently. They have Jimmy Jags as reserve alongside Wisburn, who we do know is quick already, so maybe they can leap ahead of McLaren this race. We will just have to wait and see. That's top 3 really. Everyone in the midfield is quite close together, but they are well away from the lead of the Constructors and Drivers' Championship at the moment. We'll get to the cars just in a second, but the Drivers' Championship, Rio Harris is in P1 on 103 points, and Wisburn there P2 on 99. Tyler, who is in an outside chance really for only 3 rounds left, is on 81 points, and Diwu P4 on 73. I think those are all the realistic title contenders. They're all quite far away at the minute, besides Rio Harris and Wisburn, which is at least good news. The fight for the front is damn close, but yeah, the issue is that quite a lot of people here are just quite far away from each other in the championship. Once again, the midfield is close. Our Henson down to Pablos, P5 down to P8 in the championship, separated by just 7 points, which is 4 drivers right there, which is pretty damn close. But unfortunately for us, it's not going to really work in our favour, and it's not going to be as close as we might have liked all round. Anyway, though, what hopefully we think could be close here is qualifying, and we're just going to watch Kadom here into turn 1. Pretty nice there into 5th gear, well away from track limits too, quite nice. Definitely outside curb, nothing too bad so far, but only in the first few corners of the lap, obviously. Into here now, turn 3, he goes into 3rd gear, hops the curb quite a bit there, and he's got nice on power. It'd be quite difficult to actually spin the car here, but you've got to be careful on the off throttle, maybe not trying to go too wide, and it's flat through here on these cars, and that's sector 1 done. Now, they have changed this layout a few years ago, but it still feels quite new in my head, at least to me. Very, very fast. It should be gear 6 there normally, but at that time for Kadom, it was in 5th. He's got a bit of an issue there with, I believe that's Pablos behind, who is trying to go on a quicker lap here at the minute, but he's going to get probably blocked here a little bit by Kadom. Both are still entitled to their space, but at the minute, it doesn't look like Kadom is going to do any favours to Pablos. But let's go to watch him now into the, well, guess start of sector 3 already. But look, they're already right up close to each other. This might have to be a bailout for Pablos unless he wants to set the lap. But he's got to keep behind the Williams for that little bit longer. I think he'll definitely be going quicker than him by the end of this lap. And we'll see Kadom immediately followed by Pablos to set the benchmark for our times. Kadom will come across the line, 17-0, Pablos 1 second clear, gets out of his way almost immediately there. Exotic also looks like he's trying to maybe do another lap there, but nope, 16-2. And the laps are already coming in quite quick here. Quite a few people started their laps very close to each other. Hazard P5, Tyler P3. City Drama also looks like he was maybe having some issues there and, well, cuts the corner. Definitely because of that wing damage, I believe that's on his car. So we're going to wait for a lap from him. Jeremy South on P4 there for the Haas team. Once again, not really big haul of points in their past few races, but obviously that's currently not doing too bad in qualifying. Anyway, though, Wisburn in P4. Rio Harrison, we also were on board with him, jumps up to the front row, but Pablos is a very nice time there, all things considered. Even after being blocked by Kadom, may have got a nice slipstream. Josh also did pop it in time. Let's go up to 4th, and I believe that is everyone so far. Let's see who else is currently on a lap. Blackbone, it will immediately validate his. We're not going to look at his lap so far. Skills down with legs on a lap, around left on a lap, Henson on a lap, and Kodor on a lap. We'll look at Skills down first. Never mind, he's invalidated. We're going to go to our Henson next. He is not invalidated at the same corner, so let's go and watch him in the RB. Let's see where he can go. I don't think qualifying's been our Henson's best suit so far. His best qualifying is P6. But we know that he is quite good in the races, considering he's up in P5 in the Drivers' Championship, as I mentioned earlier. Let's see what his qualifying time is going to be, though. Up in P9, not too bad for him at the minute. Who else will come across the line soon? I don't know. Skillsdown went into the pits because he invalidated. Around left looks like he's going to probably come across the line in a minute, but let's wait and see. So have a look what his time is. Very close on the exit there. There's a Williams also behind it trying to go for his lap. I believe that's D-Move, but I might be wrong. P10 though, up to there. Yeah, there we go. D-Move though, with about a 10.5 gap there as Rio Harris behind starts a lap to try and challenge him there. D-Move with 15.9, so already into the 15s. Quite early into qualifying as well. That's his first lap. And into the 15s already. It's pretty damn good. Rio Harris, a very big wheel flick there. Unfortunately, that's the best way to go fast in this game, and I really don't agree with that, but if you want to get lap time, that is the way for Rio Harris to do so. And you can tell here, look at that, already 300 sub, absolutely flicked his wheel once again going into that fast right-hander at the start of Sector 2. Once again, I think it's still unfortunate that's the way to go faster in this game, and I think it's just silly, but obviously we only got a few more races left of it, hopefully, and the F1 25 can sort us all out. Anyway, though, he is a few hundreds up currently running. Looks like he's going to get a slight slipstream here off of, I believe, the Mercedes or a Ramler, but he's not getting out of the way, though, and he's not going to get out of the way. Don't know who that was. Yeah, Ramler, I believe. Yeah, not going out of the way. No idea why. It looks like he's just going around, but, yeah. I just realised now, Rio Harris not happy with that one. As well, probably trying to send a message there, but yeah, got to be very careful about that one. But that is some very clear blocking from around left. Should be a penalty picked up once the stewards get through. Other than that, though, anyway, we've just seen, I believe, someone else pops up a good time then. Don't know who it was. Jalen, there we go. Jalen up into P8. Kodoy also in P10 now. Wisburn also starting. Oh no, actually, I think he just finished a lap there because he's on no battery and he is still in P5. So nothing else much to report at the moment. Blackbone. I mean, I did suggest he was, last season's title contender, and he's down in P10 at the minute. He's second off pole. I mean, he's taken 2 poles this season so far, Blackburn, but this is, this is horrendous so far from the Red Bull. He might have made a mistake somewhere, but that was something else. I'll say that much. Wisburn, though, looks like he's trying to get back up there with his battery, and I think everyone else is just sort of chilling for the minute. Kodoy, Blackbone, both of them not saying that at the moment. Jalen also not saying that. Tyler, I think he just started the lap. Let's go and watch him now. Slight knock up on the front left there. Front right, sorry. But looks like so far that McLaren is going decently well. Let's see, will he flick the wheel very similarly? No, he does not. Rio Harris looks like he's flicking the wheel to try and gain more time, but Tyler does not do the same as what he's doing. Let's have a quick look now. Tyler ends the first sector, 10.5 up, so not really too bad. Is it full qualifying? It's not full qualifying. It says qualifying 1 up there, but it is short qualifying. I hope. I really hope. I hope we haven't do that. Let's just double check. Yeah, short qualifying. There we go. We're all good. Yeah. Anyway, though, Tyler 1/10 up there so far. So let's see. Did he lose any time in the final sector, or will he just have a much cleaner run at it now? 4 set softs. You might have chosen the softer set move. That might be something you've done, or it could be something to do with Australia. I'm not too sure. But you can choose a softer set, and then you get more set of softs in qualifying without a set of mediums. Definitely need to double check that one, but I think that's how it goes. Anyway, though, we just watched Tyler coming across here now. 3.5 tenths up. Not a problem final sector, but obviously made up for a lot of time that he could have lost during that lap that he first set. Exotic here also using quite a lot of battery already to start the lap, and so far, I mean, quite a lot. I mean, I'd definitely say you don't start a lap usually with 60% battery, but that is what he's done. The skill stand there up into P7 as well. I'm going to try and watch out for lower grid spots being jumped up, but at the minute, it looks like I'm just going to look at the top spots as people are starting to improve a little bit more. Exotic clips at grass a lot there and somehow stays on track. Not sure how he's done that, but he is going, and that might have actually gained him quite a bit of time. Let's watch it now towards the end of Sector 2. It pretty much is just that corner you got to nail, and then the straight line speed carries you all the way down here until you have to absolutely send it left and right, and it's a pub middle sector for a reason. That was incredibly committed from Exotic throughout that turn 6, I believe, and the whole of Sector 2 into those fast, sweeping left-right corners at the start of Sector 3. Let's hopefully he can hold it together for his sake in this Sector 3 though, and it looks like pretty low so far. No clips of the grass at the minute. Power is on quite nicely. It's a nice, clean final sector, but is it fast enough to take him any higher than where he is right now? Exotic across the line, does get a purple final sector as well, but it's still in P4. Rio Harris also looks like he's off there. May have done some issues with the fast left-right hand, may have extended the track a little bit too far on the outside. We'll just wait and see to confirm that one. Josh, so let's watch him actually. He's got very low battery as we're watching him, but look at that, 10th up and a purple middle sector so far for Josh, but it does go away quite quickly, so it might not have been the fastest final sector we've seen so far. Let's just watch him though going through sector 3. I think someone else just jumped up then, Aiden I believe, yeah, up into P11, I think. Looking else who comes over across the line. I think that might have been Kadom or Deemu to start their lap. Once again, not 100% sure, but I believe that is the case. Anyway though, let's watch Josh now coming around at these final few corners. Did use quite a bit of battery, but he's only a 10.5 up by the end of it all, and he only improves 2 places up to 6th fastest. Nothing too bad there, but I think he might have wanted more from that lap, definitely. Our Henson also on his up at the moment, but he's about 2/10 down. Will he come into the pits? I believe he will. Yes, he will. With only 6 minutes left, he is going to have to go and do that one once again. Yeah, someone who also needs an actual improvement here. Hazard just starting his lap, but maybe we want the one I was actually focusing on there. I was focusing more on Fernek and Giojama as Tyler actually pops up a time to go second, which is beaten then by Pablos, who goes back onto pole position. Pablos' qualifying time has actually been pretty damn good in this race so far. He's been doing really damn well, all things considered. Tyler, though, did get an improvement in the end, but obviously gets knocked off the front row near immediately, as the only 2 drivers in the 15 so far are battling out for pole. Deemu 2.5 tenths up already in the first sector, and he's got plenty of battery to still go. And let's watch this Williams now as he rockets down this whole second sector. We are not lifting up the throttle here after that turn 6, and we're going to watch it now. It might still not be off throttle. No, he only has a slight lift off. 1.5 tenths up there, pretty much just over that, and he does nail the fast left-right chicane quite nicely. Let's watch it now towards, I think, turn 10. Bit of a lock-up on the front, and that's too wide, but apparently it's not an invalid lap. It is on strict corner cutting, but I think they might have just had him get away with that one. Let's have a look, though. Another lock-up on the front left. Let's watch it now. Very tough, and I think he might have lost quite a lot of time with them few lock-ups. He comes into the pits now, and Deemu needs to go again with 4 minutes 50 to go on the timings. I believe Wisburn's on a lap as well. Let's watch him and see what happens. I don't think anyone else is going to come across the line beforehand, unless it might be a Ram left. I think he's on an out lap. Yes, he is. Kadom and Kodoi behind, also trying to go on a lap. So let's watch Wisburn anyway, though. Actually comes across the final corner. He's got no battery left. Let's see. Is he able to challenge the front? He is! 1:15.7 there from Wisburn. Let's see what Kodoi could do further back. He goes up to 5th there. Looks like he got quite a nice toe as well, and that's pretty damn good from the Haas of Kodoi. Not too bad at all. Kadom decides to go into the pits though, so he's not going to improve. Jimmy Jags on an out lap. Ram left currently on his lap, 2.5 tenths up, so he might need to go for a bit of improvement there. CEO Drama also actually lifts himself out of last here to go P18, so at least he's ahead of a few drivers so far. But I think this will be the calm laps before everyone starts coming back out again. We're just going to wait and see what people do. Around left though anyway, 4 tenths up so far, so even though he's have to go, will most likely get a penalty. That is also a purple sector that stays. I believe a Ramlev has got very low wings in his car, and I think that purple sector actually is one that stays, because he's kind of struggling some of these corners. He's not taking many risks at the minute. Oh, that was quite a bit of a risk, though, slinging it on that curb, but yeah, definitely braking a lot earlier and being quite more cautious on the throttle. But He's going to come across the line. Let's wait and see what is around left time. He's likely going to get penalised for his blocking. But yeah, anyway, 4 tenths up. He goes only to P16 though, so he's definitely going to need a bit more of an improvement. Jimmy Jags trying to find improvement out there, but that is him invalidating his lap. He might have to try and either come back into pits or just keep going and then hope to God that he can get one more good lap in. CA Jarman looks like he's going to do the same thing here, where he comes out for one more lap, and if he does have time to go any further, then he will do so. Look at this though. Well, top 15, we're in the pits, everyone there for a second. There's only 2 minutes 50 left, so I'm not going to be surprised if we see a lot of traffic here. We have seen one already with Rio Harris and a Ramlef, but I think with the amount of people that might come out here with only 2.5 minutes to go, this is going to be a bit of pandemonium here. Let's watch it though anyway. Fernek, I don't think he's actually really on a great lap here at the minute. Looks like he's going to, yeah, 19.5. I don't think he probably made a mistake on that lap. He's going to be careful not to block the pit lane too much here, because he might actually get disqualified for it. But I think he is all good. All the cars getting sent out now though, and this is to worry. I believe that it's going to be for my throat, obviously, having to commentate these last laps, but also, well, I mean, just look at this. Everyone's coming out now for their out laps. If you can't see it on the ladder on the side there, you can see it in the pit lane. There's only a few people who haven't come out yet. I believe that is 2 Ferraris and a Haas from my vision. I might be wrong, but either Wisburn is leaving it late, or he is just not able to come back out. Oh, no, there is a car trying to come out there. Is it Jimmy Jags? No, it's Wisburn. So, actually, Jimmy Jags, yeah, he's got to get out quick if he wants to get any sort of lap in this session, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. Anyway, though, see Jarman invalidated his lap. He is not going to go quicker. Hazard is on a lap, he's a few tenths quicker so far, but we just have to watch on everyone here for their out laps now, because I think the first person to start their final lap is Kadon. We were on board with him first off, but let's see, is anyone else important able to start their laps? Yes, there is. Rio Harris, he'll be the first one to go and set a quick time, unless he invalidates. Let's watch it though. Josh is also behind him to start his lap in a minute. Then we've got a bit of a gap and a bit of a breather to go and commentate the absolute plethora of cars in that final sector so far. And we're going to just wait and see who is going to come out on top of the minute. Rio Harris, we have seen him with some great qualifying place so far. Obviously, has had nice front rows, but no pole so far this pole position, and the satisfaction that he gets from pole. And so far, he's doing that quite nicely. He's already a 10th up on his time, a 10.5 up now as he ends sector 2. Pretty nice stuff. He's already pretty much burned his battery though, so he's going to need to try and save as much of that as possible to the final sector, give him that last boost to the line. Let's watch it though. There's going to be a bit of PTSD though, however. There is a Williams in front of him. He's going to make sure he doesn't get blocked, but I think he should be all right. Yeah, pretty nicely committed through his final sector, trying to hook his car into there, but he's missed the apex, so it's quite wide. Definitely lost a bit of time there. Let's see though, is it enough as he drives towards the line to try and fight for pole position or anything higher than that? He goes up to second, but it's only a few hundreds away from Wisburn. He's not going to be able to do anything better. What about Josh? He only goes 8th. He's not going to improve anymore. Looks like there's going to be also 2 Astons on their lap. Exotic Swords and Aiden. Both of these two might start their laps right next to each other, trying to get the toe. But let's watch it, though. I think one of them might not be happy. Exotic very unsteady out the final few corners. Let's see where they go. Exotic across the line. He stays where he is. Aiden goes up to 5th. I think that's the toe helping him quite a lot. Hence, I think it's the next one to cross the line. Let's see what he does. Only up to 12. That's not enough for him. Skills Dan. It's not Skills Dan. Hazard across the line. He's already done with his lap. It's Jeremy Sapp now across the line. He stays outside the top 10, but he goes up to 11th at least. Skills down now, only improves slightly. Who is next? Pablos is in the pits. Jalen there goes up to P6 there as well. Blackburn, I think, has just crossed the line. He's gone 9th. And let's see though, Tyler goes up to pole. He's about to try and spectate him, but no, he has already got up to pole. The only other person who can probably stop him now is maybe Kodoy or Wisburn, and I think Wisburn, he is a few thousandths away. Let's watch it. And let's have a look. That's really unshaky coming out that corner, though. Let's watch it across the line. He drives towards it. He's 2 tenths down. He's not enough. Kodo's also finished his lap. Let's watch Kadom, though, as he finally finishes his lap. He's invalidated. Sia Drummer also comes to the pits. That was a very hectic end to qualifying there. But it's a familiar face on top and a second pole position for Tyler in Season 11. Brilliant stuff from him. Obviously, I think I might have to address the elephant in the room here. Blackbone down in 9th. 2-time pole sit already this season. And unfortunately for him, he is just not able to hook it up around here. However, I've got to once again say, this is close. This is some really close fights here. I mean, all things considered, like, if we go from D move down to Blackburn, it's only about a few tenths, if that. So, yeah, really, really not good. Um, yeah, really not good, to be honest. Anyway, though, Tyler on pole position there by Tempton Wisburn. Rio Harris very close behind him. Pavlos in P4, very impressive qualifying from him. Dibu in P5, Aiden P6, Jalen P7, Corduroy P8. Once again for the Haas team doing pretty well. Blackburn only P9 in the end of it. Exotic rounds out the top 10. Josh in P11. Actually, that's another bit of a shock there. Skills Dan as well. And Jeremy sat P12, P13. Those quite shocks. Henson just outside the points range for him. Kate on P15. Around P16. Hazard P17. Jimmy Jags P18. CA John P19. And Furnick rounds out the field there. All 20 drivers now are going to have to wait for those 5 red lights to go out, and then will, I believe, have 25 laps of Australia, if I am correct. I might be wrong with that one, but I think I'm correct. I believe strategies here should be medium hard. I think strategies here, medium hard, hard medium. I don't think anyone's going to go for a 2-stop. Neither do I think anyone should go for softs. I think the softs wear out quite high on this track. I think tyre wear itself is quite high, so people have got to watch out for that as they go on through each lap. I think DRS also incredibly important here. You lose tenths on tenths about it, so that's why 2-stops really aren't encouraged as much as people might think. So we're just going to have to wait and see what strategies people are on. If people do go softs, then I will not be surprised to see it at very late on in the race or at the very start of the race. Just get the positions, once again, respectively, at the very start or at the very end of the race. But that's not something to worry about at the minute. We're worrying about the 5 red lights now. And we are now underway. Ty looks like he's got a pretty nice start there, but Wisman has got a much better one. He's absolutely launched into the lead there. Wisman immediately into the lead. Pablos side by side with Rio Harris. Into turn 1 they go. Bit of forcing off there, and Rio Harris has to take 2. The grass, and he's got to be very careful. There's a bit of contact though, and it's 3 wide so far. Jalen, D-Move, and Rio Harris make sure there's not contact, but there's quite a bit of contact so far. Rio Harris half off, and I think there's a bit of end plate flying off there as well. Not too sure of what car, but there's also a very wide Henson there. I believe in the background. There's contact once again with Exotic and Josh. I think both of these two trying to go side by side, and there's a yellow flag at the back. Furnick and CA Drama both involved in some sort of incident, but everyone else looks like he's got through half cleanly here so far. But let's watch it now. Rio Harris also getting past Jalen there. Let's see, is there any changes towards the front of the field? I don't know if there's going to be. I think it's just going to be side by side by side so far. It looks like it was almost too wide there for the minute. Let's watch it now. Through this whole section, looks like no one else is going to go side by side. See Drama, Furnick there, confirmed there at the back and by a little bit there as well. Let's see any moves into this corner here. Looks like Corduroy, sorry, on the side. Blackburn, they're both off! Blackbone without a wing. Corduroy there as well. Virtual safety car is out for good reason. Debris probably everywhere on this track so far. And that is the first lap pretty much already completed there, as Wisman's going to come across the line in a second. A ram left looks like he's just caught in the middle of the unfortunate battle there between Corduroy and Blackbone. Both of them coming to the pits now to have their front wings replaced and also their tyres replaced. So unless they want to try and do some audacious strategy, pull on some hard tyres, go to the end, let's have a wait and see. But obviously it's ruined their race quite a bit. I mean, yeah, someone's in the air, Hazard. Hazard's probably not very happy. Or very surprised at least. And they haven't fixed their wings. Oh my god. Blackbird's trapping around without a wing. Oh my goodness me. Okay, so what could have been a decent strategy at least for them to maybe try and do has now turned into absolute nightmares, as Blackbone now yes, not very too happy with that one anyway. We're just going to wait for everyone else here now to get back racing. I believe the virtual safety car is going to end in a minute. Might be wrong with that one, but I think it should end soon. Oh no, full safety car. Never mind. Once again, the game is really annoying when it does this to me. Says it's a virtual safety car at the top left of my screen, but as you can clearly see there, the full safety car is parading around the track, and unfortunately, yeah, not very nice there. So maybe might be why they chose not to replace their wings. Oh my god, almost had a sneeze there. Yeah, maybe that's why these two chose not to replace their wings. Maybe just trying to get back into the pits, put on a different set of tyres, and then go back onto the hard tyres during the safety car there. where Blackbone and Fernek slowing down quite a bit there. Obviously, you got to be careful if your front wing's going to break under the safety car. Let's have a look though. Anyone else going to come into the pits? Maybe for a very audacious tyre change. Looks like no one's going to really do so. Jimmy Jags also staying out there on the medium tyres. See Jama though, one who is for some audacious tyre strategies, is into the pits this time. I know that recently, I think he did some sort of thing like this around Bahrain, where he would simply just, oh no, he got wing damage as well actually, and it's going to hold up his teammate Blackbone quite a bit. Yeah, the Red Bull duo not having a fun time whatsoever. Might even be the last two people on the grid. No, CA Drama just gets ahead of both of them. Blackbone onto the mediums, but I believe once again these two, I believe Kodoy and Blackbone will be back onto their set of hard tyres they were on at the start of this race. CA Drama will keep on the hards that he's just boxed on and had his wing fully replaced with. But anyway, let's just have a quick look at position changes, because obviously quite important, all things considered. I believe the safety car would stay out for one more lap. I don't think Blackburn will catch up in time. You have your first support this round. Mate, I already had it in qualifying, Blackburn. Yeah, I think more's going to happen, and it's definitely quite clear that something is going to come of these reports now. We tried to be more harsh for these last few rounds here, because people decided that our reports around Austria just was not harsh enough in the end of things. Quite laggy for me actually as well on my end, so very sorry if that's affecting the race and the stream. Yeah, but anyway, let's have a quick look at the position changes. Obviously, Kodoy and Blackburn falling quite far down. Everyone did gain a few places in the midfield, but yeah, Rio Harris, awful start there as he got pushed out by Pablos into turn one. But yeah, good stuff for D-Move and Aiden, and also Wisburn getting it immediately off the start there. Jalen retains his place in P7. So, never mind, Kodoy and everyone else got really slowed down here. So, very late call, but Wisburn's will get himself hurried up. Okay, this lag is disgraceful. I have no idea if that... Okay, right, cool. What's going on? Might be my internet, everybody, so really sorry. Hopefully it fixes itself after a few laps. But anyway, though, Jalen and Exotic going side by side with each other, hopefully not able to try and push each other off. Looks like they're going to be all okay, and I think they are there. Looks like it's also side by side between Kadom and Jerry Saff, but Kadom looks like he holds his nerve so far. Up 5 positions, actually, the big gainer out of everybody here in this field. Let's see if anyone else up the front is going to try and make a move. Looks like it already is going to be a move between Wisburn and Tyler. Tyler regaining the lead back from what he had at the start of this race, but he lost immediately into turn one. Wisburn there looks like he's also the threat there from Pablos. Looks like Pablos may try and go for some sort of move, but I don't know if it's going to happen down into this straight unless he goes for a send now. Don't think anything's going to happen there. D-Move also stays behind there. Rio Harris also looking backwards, trying to see if he can maybe get any more moves done so far. Look at this midfield though. This midfield is packed, and around there also have a bit of a issue as Kadom is passed there by Jeremy Saff. Kadom trying to go back on the outside, but no, look, Kadom has got actually some wing damage. Not sure if anyone's going to see it, but let's have a quick look as we go into turn one here. It'll be a lot easier to see. Fernek also round at the back there. Exotic also has a penalty for track limits on lap 5. That, with a few laps on the safety car, that is quite bad for Exotic there. Looks like Jimmy Jags may try and go for a move here on the inside of Hazard. No, decides to go and stick behind for the minute. Also, once again, really sorry for this lag. I don't know what is going on. But anyway, Seal Sam and Kadom fight each other. Kadom's going to be very careful, though, on the inside. That's going to be very, very hotly contested. I think Kadom's continuing to try and fight with the Merca run left there. It's very damn close. He's going to make sure he takes of doing, but I have no idea who's doing what at the minute. Yeah, that is just ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, Kadom there has at least held his position there, and Pablos trying to go on the inside of Wisper. Looks like he's going to try and force a move for Wisper running outside. Looks like nothing's going to come of that though. He's trying to keep his nose on the inside, but he's just not going to grip out the corner so far to go and do it. Skills down also past Jeremy Saff. He's actually off. Jeremy Saff off into the gravel. Not sure what happened, but he's lost quite a lot of places there, and he's now down 4 places from where he started. Oh, he's got to get out of the way of his teammate there, and he just is doing actually. Looks like he's going to pull into the pit, so maybe something's broken on his steering wheel here. This does not look very normal. I hope it's not just my internet here, but this is very odd. For Jeremy South, I believe it might be some wheel issue and he's retired for the session as well. So Jeremy South, the first retiree in this race, looked to me like a wheel issue, because I don't think he'd normally do something like that. Anyway, though, Kadon trying to fight Will Henson so far. Oh, Henson! Looks like he might have spun it there, or at least half spun it. He's quite lucky to keep it fully out the wall. I don't think he's got any damage from that, but let's double check as we go through here. Looks like he's not going to fight with CA Drama MM, but CA Drama also has that wing damage again. So he picked for a new wing, and it's back off again. Exotic and Josh are going to try and go side by side. There's contact there. Josh takes the escape route. Josh takes the escape route of that corner, and Josh gets ahead. But there might be some words about that one in Stuart's room as well. Ramlef also round now in the fast left right-hander. Australia looks like it's absolute chaos, and I've said it since 23. Yeah, definitely a chaos track at the moment, and I think it's proving itself once again to be such. Pabloso on the back now with the fastest lap of the race, on the back of Wisman, maybe trying to make a bit more of a hurry up there. Skills sound also P10 second quickest lap here, so I think it just tells you the influence of DRS on people's races, as Jalen is actually only just dropped out of it. So unfortunately for him, he needs to get back into it ASAP unless he wants to just go away from the top 6, and I don't think he wants to do that whatsoever. Let's watch him anyway. Yeah, don't think he's going to get DRS. Yeah, Josh right on the back of him, but I do not think anything's really going to happen here unless Josh is able to somehow manage to claw enough time back to get himself back into DRS, and by proxy Jalen as well. But anyway, let's have a look though. Wisberg trying to go on the outside of Tyler. Nothing's going to happen there. Very close between these four. Only like 4 tenths, 5 tenths separate these guys. 5 cars right next to each other. That was a beautiful shot there so far. And it's going to be 2 by 2 now. Wisburn on the outside of Tyler. Pavlos and Demu also fighting behind. Looks like Tyler's had a mistake though. Look at this. It's almost only 2-3 wide going around here. Looks like it's 2 wide there between Pavlos and Demu. Demu's just shoved wide a tiny bit. Oh my goodness me. Okay, there was also Aiden back there into the wall. I should have had a bit more of a reaction to that one, but I think he's still in the race. Rio Harris also trying to get it side by side with D-Move, and I think D-Move is all okay. Rio Harris, no, Josh, sorry, actually now ahead of Aiden as he sets the fast lap of the race as well. Vert safety car. Not sure what's happened there. I think it's CA Drama at the back of the field. Yeah, wing damage once again for the Red Bull there, and I think this is kind of telling at the minute. Wow, CA Drama's race pretty much ruined now. He at least gets a free pit stop to change his wing, but this is not going to go down well. Yeah, wow. At least another quick breather for me. But yeah, so far, bit chaos this race so far. We're only on lap 8. So not even any proper strategies being pulled off yet, and this is the sort of thing that is happening. So, my goodness me. Wow. Yeah, anyway, I think we're about to go racing pretty soon. Looks like debris has already been cleared. I assume so anyway. Not as really much debris to clear on the track anyway. It looks like he lost it on the exit of turn 10. So maybe just span the car around on the exit into the inside wall, and that is him without a wing. But CA Drama should be all cleared up now. Yeah, no debris from what I can see in this corner. So yeah, I believe something should be ending right now, and it should be the safety car. Unless these guys want to try and go to the pits. Let's have a quick look. Anyone going to try and pull the trigger? No. Interesting. Never mind, that's why the safety car is ending right now. Anyway, yeah, I was wondering if actually someone's going to try and pull the trigger for a pit stop. Well, wasn't going to happen in the end of it anyway. But yeah, F1 Tyler and Wisburn still be fighting it out for the lead in this race, vote safety car or not. Let's have a quick look though. Is Wisburn going to go on the inside? No. Obviously, just going to wait till the next 2 long DRS straights go and do such. And everyone looks like he's now closing up onto DRS other than the 2 Alpines here. Skills down in a world of his own at the minute, trying to hatch onto the back of the top 9, and Hazard forming his own train here with Jimmy Jags right behind him in P11 and P12. So we'll still get points, obviously. Oh, wide there, Aiden. He had a little bit of an issue in Sector 3 when we were last looking on the offboards. And look at that, Pablos also got damage. Wisburn is going to get ahead of Tyler. Pablos ahead of Tyler. Will Dimu get ahead of Tyler? He loses 3 places in one straight. That's why Wisburn wants to wait until a little bit later on. But Pablos with his wing damage, will he be able to actually try and make a move for the lead of this race? Will he be confident enough on the brakes? Rio Harris on the outside there, trying to go on Tyler there. It's contact, and there's half round there. But Rio Harris does get ahead of Tyler at the minute. D-Move also having some big issues, and that's going to allow the top two maybe to go out in front, and maybe without the DRS benefit. No, D-Move at least still gets some of it. K-Dom also half round at turn 10, I believe. So, yeah, absolute chaos this race so far. And realistically, just look at it. D-Move here, trying to catch back up after his half spin, I believe. Rio Harris and Tyler, both of them also involved in that sort of fight there. Henson looks like actually Jimmy Jags also lost a few places there, so he might have been losing that due to the DRS, or it could have been contact with K-Dom, who's just become a 3-second penalty as well. But yeah, quite a lot of people now into this top DRS range here in a minute. Yeah, quite clearly to see that it's a top 10 ahead of the absolute train that's now in the bottom 10 of the field. So, yeah, unfortunately, this is F1 24, everybody. 2 sets of trains. And, yeah, well, I mean, this looks exciting, obviously. But if it happens every lap, novelty does start wearing off a bit. If it's too wide everywhere... Oh! Pablos round from the lead! Pablos round! He didn't actually have damage in the end, but oh my goodness me, Pablos absolutely crumbles after taking the lead there. He's fallen down to P10 in absolute no man's land now. It looks like Skill's going to try and fight him. Look at this for the fight for the lead as well. Whisper and D-Move trying to go for each other there. D-Move on the inside, maybe a little bit of contact, but I think everything's going to be all okay. Rio Harris waiting in the background there. D-Move pulls it off around the outside and gets the DRS. Will Whisper be susceptible to Rio Harris now, or will Rio Harris try and just wait for that little bit longer, maybe into turn 3, because once again, Wisman will not have a DRS. The DRS section point is before he got past. Let's have a look. He's going to turn them actually. Rio Harris looks like he's going to go around the outside here of Wisman as D-Move is going to streak away a little bit. Rio Harris around the outside. He takes P2. Net P1 in this race so far as D-Move also has that penalty, and I think everyone right now is just getting closer and closer to each other. If we look at the battle between the lead here, top 9, separated by 3 seconds overall. D moves P1, goes down to P9. Blackbone with issues again. I actually don't get it. I don't get it. Everyone is having issues on this track so far. I don't know what it is in the Australian water, but it is not doing any of these drivers any good. Looks like Josh and Jalen are trying to fight here. Jalen right around the outside. He gets barely left and he says contact again. I talked about being harsh on the reports, but it looks like people are trying to test that theory at the minute. Looks like maybe any moves we made out in front. No, they are not. 2 Astons side by side. Looks like Exotic just gets ahead of Aiden there into that corner, and it's just, yeah, it's just chaos here at the minute. Everyone's sort of just going at each other, and it's not really what I want. Obviously, I mean, as long as it's clean, that's fine by me. But yeah, now we've got first 2 people coming into the pits there. Blackbone picks up a penalty as well without his wing. But yeah, anyway, Rio Harris, Exotic Source, Skills Dan, and Josh all into the pits here. What should be for the hard tights in this race. Looks like everyone is going to be doing just that. Let's see who's going to come out ahead here for the minute. Looks like it's going to be Rio Harris well out into the field and in a bit of clean air as well. So nicely done for all 4 of these guys. But yeah, Exotic, Skills Dan, and Josh all right next to each other here. So they can actually maybe use that to catch back up to Rio Harris. But yeah, this is a big gap actually. Exotic, how did he lost that much time actually? I don't know. But anyway, Skills Dan looking to try and get the move done immediately here on the inside. Exotic does leave the space really well. And that should be Exotic still ahead. But Skills Dan trying to get him back on the switchback. Let's have a little bit off of the camera here. Let's have a look at this. Looks like nothing's really going to come of it though in the end of it. Yeah, this sounds like my throat is hurting. It is hurting at the minute. Some shocks all round the grid at the minute. But looks like everything's calmed down just a little bit, other than these few back here trying to go 3-1 with each other at the minute. But yeah, round up for tyre session in the pit lane, so that's not going to affect the race at all. But yeah, Exotic pass there by Skills Dan and Josh. Josh trying to pass Skills Dan. It was very millimetre close there. But he goes ahead now. Tyler and Aiden at the front there also coming to the pits. Kodoy also getting passed there by Rio Harris. As Rio Harris on the freshest tyres trying to make moves past these drivers. Rio Harris, I think, also was not very happy last time with this exact Williams and K-Dom. But I think K-Dom looks like he's actually giving him a run for his money here. K-Dom really squeezed into the inside there. Lovely stuff from both of them, even if K-Dom is actually fighting with a pit stop down. But yeah, there's a Ramles slap car, at least not taking anyone out. But yeah, so far, Exotic and Skills Dan also still fighting with each other there. There's a Ramles lap car still going. So I don't know if it was actually able to overtake there. But I think everyone's all okay there. So Let's have a quick look order. Well, look at the grid order actually. Tyler continues to be ahead of Rio Harris so far, which I find quite interesting. Obviously, I mean, I do say that the DRS is quite key here, but I did not think it was going to be that key. Yeah, Kodoi though and Jimmy Jack also fighting, but Kodoi has a bit of a snap there, almost gets lost completely on that curb, but he should be all okay at the minute. Josh also fighting with Aiden once again. This is what's Rio Harris and Tyler living in. What's going to happen with them two. I think something's going to happen with these lot. Blackburn, he's in round again. Blackburn's round again on the track there. Looks like Rio Harris also trying to go back at Tyler, but Josh going to try and go running outside of Aiden. Josh may about break this up a little bit there though, but I think he's all good. Blackburn's actually round again. I don't understand what the hell this guy's doing. But anyway, Wisburn into the pits on a fresh set of hard tyres now. Looks like Hazard Heads are just going to try and drag it out as much as they can. Tyler though might want to try and get past immediately. Rio Harris might also want a bit of help from his teammate. Let's have a look though. Tyler trying to force a move on the inside. Nothing's going to happen. Might try and let Rio Harris go around outside. He gets forced off slightly there as people try and pick up penalties. Tyler looks like he's going to get ahead of our Henson. Our Henson also backs off for his teammate Rio Harris. Good bit of team play there, but unfortunately for him, no moves have been made just yet. But he might actually prefer that. You never know. Hazard's going to be the one up next who will be getting fought by all of these guys, actually. I mean, I was going to say by Tyler Rio Harris, but no, our Hens going to be fighting, and Wisman's going to close up in a second as well. Let's have a little watch now as Tyler, I think, really wants to make this move done. Looks like Hazard's going to defend it with any battery. Never mind, he is, as I say that. Does use a bit of ERS there, but I think Tyler might try and either go around the outside now or be round on next order on the inside, maybe. Into turn 9 and 10. He does pull it off, but no, he's round. Tyler round. That was really risky, that move. And it's just not paid off in the end of it. I think Tyler got a little bit too greedy, and he is half round now. Rio Harris back past now. Tyler, obviously, with that spin. But Hazard just being a bit more of an innocent bystander in that one. And he's going to be very confused as to what has just happened to him. But, wow. Yeah, Tyler, big mistake there. He's only lost a few seconds to it in the end of it. So, not an absolutely race-ending mistake, but yeah, definitely some crazy stuff there. The other flag's also flying in a minute. I think that's Blackburn's lap car pulling up to the side of the track there. Not sure why Ramos didn't do that, but looks like Blackburn, yeah, he's already gone. So we're back to green flags now. Tyler still on the back of Wisburn, at least for his sake, but obviously down in P6 now compared to what should have been net P3 or P4. The other flag, once again, is the drama, is literally reversing around the track. Oh my goodness me. The Red Bull team, I've forgotten how to drive today in Australia. I feel bad for them, but obviously if you've reversed around the track, you've done something catastrophically wrong. So I don't really know what to tell you. But yeah, anyway, Wisburn and Hazard actually going for a hit. Oh, look at this, so Tyler, enough with the risky moves at least. He's trying to go 3 wide. He's going to try and go around the outside of Wisburn? No, he's not. But yeah, Hazard also in the middle of that, wanting to sort of back out, and he did just that, as he's now going to watch this fight here. We're actually going to go on board with Hazard for the minute. Let's see if he's able to stick with this fight between Tyler and Wisburn. I think he's already losing quite a bit of time. Jalen into the pits as well. Maybe Dean out in front, mind you. On the hard tyres, I think he might be trying to hope for a safety car as well. Maybe late on in this race, trying to pull away with the medium tyres, but obviously with that penalty, he's not really going to like that. But yeah, now both Red Bulls out of this race, as Tyler just going to blast past Wisburn there. Not something needs to get that back though, as I think there's the yellow flag out. Not sure if that is going to be by the game's rules though, as Aiden just zoomed past Hazard there. Josh also right at the back of him now. Hazard does have a DRS, Josh trying to get back past him. Let's have a look though. Hazard obviously going to need to break it a little bit earlier on them used hard tyres. But yeah, Josh not to find a way behind, not to find a way by Hazard yet. But yeah, Josh having to try and find at least some sort of way around, otherwise Exotic and Pablo's going to be knocking right at his door. And Hazard also pretty much getting pushed through this turn 6 here so far, and he's pretty much almost lost DRS overall to Aiden, but he's, oh my goodness me, was that actually, okay, actually might have been a real thing there. Looks like people's had some big issues there. I don't know what's happened. Hasn't been trying to move out of the way. I think it's just caused a bit of an incident there. I don't even know what's going on. Pablo's at least passed, though. Josh passed, Jalen passed. I think Exotic was the one that got ruined by that one. Maybe Hazard did have some issues with him. But, yeah, Hazard obviously getting pretty much pushed through these corners now. It's kind of ridiculous, the rate how slow he's going. But obviously, he might have also got damage from that one in the end of it. D-move, though, anyway. On to a set of mediums now. I think he was the last person not to box other than Hazard in this race. I think he might box at the end of the stop as he gets past once again. Yeah, he's in the pits. So then everyone has an outbox. No one's going on a two-stop, I believe. And this is going to be your order once D-Move filters out, and he has just filtered out. There's a bit of a Mercedes wide there, though, and Pablos gets back ahead. Exotic with another 3-second penalty there for his causes. Josh trying to go on the inside of Pablos. Late breaking move, late breaking stuff. Side by side with the Sauber there, and it looks like Josh just isn't able to get it done just yet. He's in a Sauber sandwich at the minute, with Skillsdan right behind, trying to get back into play in this race. But yeah, this is your grid order currently. Let's have a look at the position changes. Rio Harris, obviously a big winner so far, 1.6 clear of Tyler after he made that really big error into the corner he's coming up to right now. Winslow behind him as well, trying to get back past Tyler here in the Ferrari car. Aiden looks like he's also gained a few places out of it, but D-Move is right in the back of him, and obviously D-Move, with that 3-second penalty, will not keep that so far. Looks like Aiden, they're really trying to squeeze with D-Move there, but lovely stuff from D-Move. There's contact behind. The Saubers are getting the Mercedes pincered there. There's still going on, but somehow Josh retains P6. Absolutely no idea. But yeah, rear locking's been a huge issue in this race so far, and it's something we've seen. I think even the first lap crash between Kodoy and Blackbone, both of them also gone with rear locking by the end of it. So I think it's just been such an issue during this race, and I've got to, yeah, definitely might need to address it to some of these people at the end of all things happening here. Pablos, so back on the inside of Josh. Looks like he'll go late, but Pablos has maybe ruined that one a bit, and it looks like Josh loses another place there to Jalen. So if that doesn't get reported, it might be likely it could be a penalty. We don't know just yet, but obviously we're going to wait and see until next week, at least for all of you, once the stewards renew that decision. If there once again is going to be a decision. Wisman, though, absolutely breezed past Tyler. Let's watch it now between these four as they go try and fight each other again. Pablos, will he try and defend from his teammate Jalen? Looks like he's going to absolutely just let him soar by at that point. And looks like everyone's just going to sort of keep in the same order for the minute. Let's see if Josh can be able to do anything else in that Mercedes car. Everyone's struggling with battery down here. Other than Skillsdan, probably just waiting for his moment. Josh trying to fake a move to the inside. Gets nicely back to the racing line. Got a much better exit though. Van Pablos on the inside. That is absolutely awful stuff there as Skillsdan goes through. Both of these two still trying to fight each other. But I think this is just a bit... It's getting a bit silly now, to be honest, all these incidents. Trying to say everything's going to be all good. But yeah, quite bad from what I'm seeing in a minute. This is probably going to need to be addressed to everybody out here that is watching and such in our server. So yeah, quite unfortunate that, but anyway, at least for the fight for the lead, nothing too bad is going on at the minute. Rio Harris is leading by 1.3 seconds. Looks like he can get DRS though on this McLaren. May have just got it there. Let's have a look as he goes down in sector 2. Did he get DRS? He did. So that's quite nice. Actually forced the protection against Wisburn and Tyler for the next lap. Has a picks up penalty as well. But yeah, Rio Harris will be very thankful for that DRS, as he's not going to lose much time during these next two straights to the other two behind, and that might actually keep him out of DRS for another lap between Tyler and Wisburn. I think it has actually. He's gained a bit of time after all of that, but a little bit of a lock-up on the front right there as Rio Harris goes through Sector 3 now. He's trying to keep on some decent pace, but at the minute, yeah, looks like so far he's looking all good. Wisburn obviously trying to maybe find a way past Tyler in a minute, but everything seems to have calmed down, which for me is good news, for the server is good news, for the arguments good news. Yeah, other than that though, let's just have a watch until something really bad happens, as per usually now. It'll probably be in the last few laps, or maybe a bit beforehand. Let's have a look. Skillsdan does go a bit wide there. Looks like Josh is going to try and make a move now, possibly on the inside here, or will he wait? Yeah, he'll wait until the straight now. But Tyler, using quite a bit of battery, I believe, is now in the DRS of Rio Harris, but he picks up a penalty, so Tyler is not really going to be enjoying that one too much. But the best thing he can do now is at least just fight Rio Harris, maybe see if he can get him a penalty of his own, and let's just wait and see for it now, as Tyler is going to start gaining and gaining on the car ahead. That is the V-Carb. Let's just wait and see how it's going to go for him. I don't know if he's going to be actually doing anything into this. No, it looks like he's going to be all okay. Pabloso past Skillsdan. Looked like Skillsdan gave him quite a bit of space on the inside there, but Pavlos shoots around the outside. Might be actually a really nice move. Josh also decides to back out with the fight between Skills Dan there. Didn't think he actually would have, but proves to be wrong there in the end of things. And now the fight for the lead is quite close. Realistically, it's Pavlos and Wisburn. Unless Tyler can remove that penalty once again. We will not know that until after the race and until next week for any of you watching, unless you are in the server at all. But yeah, Tyler though on the back of Rio Harris. Wisburn even more on the back of Rio Harris. But look at that, Tyler's just going to try and make the move immediately. It's Rio Harris is harvesting battery, but Tyler's had a big rear locking there. Rio Harris goes back past. Nice awareness from Rio Harris to avoid the half spinning Tyler there in the end of things. Exotic also pitching from wing damage by the looks of things, but also doing a two-stop strategy. I would have looked like there. Jimmy Jags though moves past him up into P11 there. Exotic also dropped behind Kadom. Potentially our Henson as well as we go down the straight with him. But yeah, anyway, Rio Harris tried forcing Tyler a little bit more to the end of the track there, but Tyler gets through and up into P1 so far. Anyway though, Rio Harris might try and go for it again. He's turning on the battery. This might be quite risky from Rio Harris, but obviously he's got to defend from Wisburn as well. Looks like he's done just that. Lovely stuff from both drivers so far. All three drivers. As Tyler is trying his best to break away, but obviously when there's a penalty, it's not really going to happen. D-Move also doing his best to catch up and maybe pass Tyler in himself. Obviously because he has that penalty too. Speaking of penalties, let's have a quick look. What are the penalties so far? Here we go. Quite a few 3-second penalties out there. But obviously the only two actually that got 6-second penalties here. Jimmy Jags on what I believe is some very old hard tyres, and Exotic Swords in P14. Let's have a quick look on the tyres actually. Exotic Swords obviously trying to get past Henson. Finds the easy way to do that one there. Running outside, he is through. And up into P13 obviously as well. He might want the fastest lap there as well, so people might try and go for that if they're outside the points. Obviously they will not get a point for being outside the points, which for us is P14 in this league. So if you're outside the P14 window, you will not get the point fastest lap. But obviously you will also get the graphic as well. And I think that's what someone like Kadon was trying to do last race, obviously being outside the points. Speaking of Kadon, he's actually fighting with Jimmy Jags there at a minute. But no other real fights going on at the top here at a minute. We're just going to wait until this corner to finally see some going on. It looks like it's going to start happening now. Demu trying to go on the inside of Wisburn. Wisburn blocking off quite nicely. He's trying to force a move on the inside of Rio Harris. And looks like he's managed to be able to keep the threat behind so far. Lovely bit of attacking and defensive work there from Wisburn. But Demu on the inside, looks like he's going to get it there. And he's gone a little bit deep, but Demu just takes it on the medium tyres. Looks like Wisburn had a bit of a mistake there, going out of the penultimate corner, I believe. And that's just it. Yeah, Demu through. And he's going to try and maybe now work towards Tyler, realistically, for his goal now. Or maybe Rio Harris and try and take the lead, just in case that his penalties were not really too bad. Oh, Jimmy Jags off. Jimmy Jags off into the gravel. He's going to be out in P14. Pablos picks a penalty as well out in front. There's an absolute chaos over here. What is going on? 4 cars, but obviously one ghosted car here of, I believe that's Fernek, and he is just half span into the wall. So at least he's out of the way for these drivers' sake. Yeah. Anyway, let's look at the front of the field once again. I think D-Move is in the prime position to, well, could have won this race, but at the moment, I think it's Rio Harris. Jimmy Jags also retires from session, decides the 1 point isn't worth it for the Ferrari team. Hazard is going to move up into that P14 spot. And it looks like Skillsdown also there past Pablos. Looks like another move's going to be made there. Might be a move made for the lead though in a minute. Tyler on the inside. Was Rio Harris there? Tyler to go a little bit wide, maybe trying to take the track limits, try and make sure he gave him the space. And looks like he has. D-Move though, with the superior grip, trying to go running outside of Rio Harris as he switchbacks again. D-Move trying to go running outside maybe. Is he going to be able to make this work? D-Move with the fresh tyres, absolutely putting on a show so far. Will he try and maybe make a move running outside? Rio Harris doing his absolute best to stay ahead, and he does just that. As Jimmy Jags' car is just parked up there, and it's all gone, so the yellow flag is no longer there. Will D-Move try and make another move going into turn 3? He does turn the battery for a slight second. Rio Harris does go defensive, but I don't think anything else really going to come of that move so far. Rio Harris just go a little bit deep though. Tyler obviously trying to escape out in front while he does all of that. But I think D-Move is going to be all okay. Josh also passed Skillsdan there. There's a Skillsdan actually almost susceptible to Pablos in the end of all things there. But Right now, Tyler, obviously, with a 7-10 gap out in front, that's going to be eroded almost immediately with the DRS benefit you get in this game. But also, with that 3-second penalty, time is eroded anyway. So he might as well just continue driving to see what he can get out of it. But I think right now, he's going to get some knocking at his door from Rio Harris. He might want to try and put a car between him and D-Move now, as D-Move is looking really good on their medium tyres so far. The only driver in the top 5 on the medium tyres, and is doing incredibly well to try and catch back up again. Exotic also doing his best to try and catch up, but obviously, yeah, 12.5 seconds away from Kodoy. He's got a lot to catch up there for. Exotic, though, also picking up a 3-second penalty, as I say that. Maybe not doing too hot there. But anyway, skill stand and Pablos also fighting. As I was saying that, we did just have a quick watch of that one. Looks like D-Move, though, trying to go on the inside of Rio Harris. Rio Harris tries to go defensive. D-Move trying to go around the outside. Rio Harris just breaks that slight bit later, and he's able to keep the move. But obviously, the superior grip for D-Move here looks like he's going to maybe get him a place in this race. But Rio Harris got such a launch coming out that turn to exit there we go. Couldn't think of the words there. Yeah, Rio Harris, such a launch out of turn to exit, and he's now pretty much holding back these two drivers as Wizbone's right on the back of D-Move here as we watch these two fighting. D-Move at least trying his best to regain battery, but Wizbone on 100%, he wants to get on with this. He wants to be raring to go. Rio Harris also on about 85 as Tyler's using his battery, only about 40% there. So we're just going to wait and see though. But Rio Harris looks like he's going to have a really big spectacle in the rearview mirrors for his car. Wizbone right past Stevie there with a tiny bit of contact, but everything looks to be all good. He's not turning the battery though immediately, otherwise Wizbone's going to come knocking at his door. Wizbone's going to try and take 2 now, and that's going to be for the lead of the race if he can get it. Rio Harris trying to outbrake himself. Wizbone trying to go on the inside. Rio Harris just keeps doing track limits. Looks like everything's all okay though. I think that's also Pablos. Pablos off. Right there in the chicane. My goodness, our voice is going. So, my God. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, yeah, D-Move though trying to now go on the inside of Wizbone potentially. Let's watch it. Wizbone not really having great straight line speed there, but it looks like he's able to fight for another day for now. Let's watch it though. Wizbone, will he be able to make another defensive shape here on D-Move? It looks like he's placed his car just that little bit to the inside, making sure he doesn't want D-Move to try and absolutely send one, be invited, but he's not going to do that right now. There's only 4 laps left of this race, mind you. Half the field have got penalties roughly. Pablo's also into the pits, maybe trying to go 4 lap fast lap at the end of this race. Who actually has fastest lap at the minute? Wizbone, we were 18.4. Pablo 7.86. Exotic also an 18.6. I think Pablos might try and beat that with his new tyres, his new softs, more specifically. Anyway, though, look at that. D-Move trying to go on the inside there of Wizbone, but Wizbone leaves him the space and more of it. Blackman saying it's possibly his worst race ever. I don't blame you, mate. You're P18, you're out, but we're not focusing on you for the minute. Wizbone, yeah, looking like he's trying to go for a move on Rio Harris, but he hasn't got straight line speed for the minute. But, yeah, look at this. Rio Harris is the one he really needs to overtake here in a minute. 100% battery. Wizbone, 60%. Rio Harris is just doing amazing here to keep his battery in check while keeping the pace to Tyler and make sure Wizbone is kept behind. Everyone in top 4 actually has done pretty nicely with their racing so far. D-Move though, trying on the inside of Wizbone. Will he back out of it? No, he will not. D-Move on the inside. Wizbone has to concede the room there, but D-Move does make it through into P3. That gives it an extra breather for Rio Harris there, as he's now 1 car away from having to face the Ferrari of Wizbone in his rearview mirrors, and might be 2 cars away if he's able to get tired by the end of the straight. We're going to wait and see. But D-Move, I don't think it really matters to him at the moment. He's just trying to get as much pace out of his car as possible. Let's watch and learn as he's going to go down this back straight. Already turned the battery. He wants this move done immediately on their medium tyres. And let's watch now. He turns on the overtake a little bit here. Let's see if he's able to try and get it. His turns 8 and 9, I believe. And he's going on the inside for it. On the inside, he clips curb slightly. Rio Harris just holds in front. But looks like D-Move's going to get a slightly better exit. Let's have a look. But Rio Harris also say turn on the battery a little bit more there. Let's have a look. He's going to try and go on the inside. It doesn't look like he's going to do it there. And here we go, though. With only a few laps left. D-Move struggling for tyre wear now a little bit on their medium tyres. Pablos also with a penalty, but he's right on the back of Exotic Swords there at the moment. It's might actually be really nice for him trying to get the fastest lap of this race. Let's just wait and see for that one. Hazard also into the pits there, as Cato and our Henson are absolutely fighting each other. Our Henson pick up a penalty for that one as well, but I'm not sure that's going to affect him too much by the end of things. Anyway, though, let's look at the top 4 once again. They have broken well away from Aiden, mind you, and all things considered, the mistakes in this race have somehow managed to still keep people up in the lead of this race. It has not been a flawless race, I believe, by anyone at the minute. I mean, maybe Rio Harris has a pretty damn good race. I think Wisburn has also done pretty all right. But obviously, Tyler picking up a penalty and a half spin probably should have been the person to win today, obviously. Somehow still in the lead, but I think should be the person to win today if he was actually able to have everything right for him. D-Move as well, electric pace on these medium tyres at the end of it, especially after starting P5, I believe. But penalties obviously ruined him. Yellow flag out as well. I believe that's for, is that Hazard? The back there? No, it's Kadom. So he is stuck there. It looks like, hold on a minute, on the inside there, D-Move. Trying to go Rio Harris, D-Move. There's been half there. That's been half, I can't speak. That's been half four stops there by Rio Harris. Kadom retires for session at the end of it. So it looks like everyone who is going to finish here is going to get a point by the end of things. But yeah, I can't speak, apparently. That's something that's going to happen by the last few laps of this race. But you can't have to blame me here. My throat's absolutely killing me. This could be the fight for the lead, though. Rio Harris from the back of Wisburn. And it looks... yeah, Wisburn on the back of Rio Harris. Oh, my goodness, we're making so many mistakes. But I think, realistically, this is going to go down to the final straight. And Tyler will be the one to play an influence in the win here. As it's between these two at the moment, but Wisburn wants to try and get it done here because he knows if anything's going to really happen, it's going to be down the straight, and he doesn't want any really big complications to his race. So I think he just wants to get ahead of Rio Harris now, but he's not able to be doing that. Has been some penalty as well for track limits. Josh also passed Jalen, we also say all of that stuff, but we're going to have to look now at the most important two straights of Wisburn and Rio Harris's Australian Grand Prix. Let's have a look at it now. Tyler may also have just something to say about the end of the race win. Let's have a look though. I think he's going to get absolutely sailed by Rio Harris. Look at the straight line speed. Absolutely gone. And look at that. Rio Harris and Wisburn now right back past each other. It's just them two now. With helping the DRS. Wisburn doesn't get the exit he wants. That might seal it for Rio Harris. Tyler can't come back at anyone, but he's going to be ahead of D-Move by the end of it though. But he's getting a bit tap there from Tyler. D-Move almost lose it completely. Somehow just save it, keep it out of the wall. Let's make sure though that Rio Harris does not get past by the end of this race. He does go a little bit wide there in the end of things. Let's have a quick look. D-Move making another mistake, but Wisburn hasn't got the traction at the end of it. Rio Harris looks like he's going to come through now and take the win in Australia to extend his championship lead over Wisburn. Rio Harris wins here from P2 Wisburn, P3 Tyler, D-Move mistake at the end of it to get P4, 8 and P5, very close here to P5, to P6, 7 and 8. Josh ahead of Skills down, ahead of Jalen, Kodoy in P9, a little bit further back, but he's going to go there eventually. Pablo's trying to go for fast slap, I believe. Exotic maybe also trying to go faster slap. Hensley trying to go for faster slap. Everyone trying to go faster slap. Hazard is not able to try and do a fast slap attempt at the end of it. Fernek also having to come around for his first points, I believe. But with 6 retirees, that's what's going to happen. Hence also right at the back of Exotic here. Exotic maybe just doing a bit of a hold-up job, just trying to make sure he keeps that P11 spot. Looks like it was all fair game there, but obviously it could be complaints at any point there. However, that is your Australian race done. It went by pretty damn quickly. However, I say pretty damn good race will be considered. I think the issue there, though, was some driving standards. It's still pretty bad looking at some of the issues that we're seeing in the race. However, Rio Harris is awarded driver of the day according to the game, and we're going to now go to the top 3 and looking through everything else here. Let's have a look. Anyway though, Rio Harris P3 to P1 at the end of things. Really nice stuff to extend his championship lead out in front. Wisburn P2 to P2, but keeps fast slap spot after all of that. Tyler and D-Move also there, P3, P4, but they miss out because of their penalties. 8 in P5, Josh in P6, Skills Dan P7 from P2 on the grid. That's not too bad from him. Jalen losing out in the end of it to go P8. Kodoy in P9, also losing out one position. Bar Henson at least grabs P10, 4 with a view to catch up RB team. Pablos is outside the top 10 in P11. Exotic Swords in P12. Has a P13, Ferdic Doodle as the last person to come across the line in P14. Kadom classified, but 3 laps down the end of it in P15, and no points for him. And non-finishers there of Jimmy Jag, CJ Drama, Blackbone, Ramleth, and Jeremy Saff. All of them failed to be classified or finish this race at the end of things. So then, I think people will not be very happy with that one, to be honest with you. Yikes. I mean, I think some people's reactions also in the chat here are not very happy. Yeah. We'll just put it that way. Anyway, though, let's just go to the last little bits here. I'll at least update you all on the driver's standings so far. Rio Harris extends his advantage from 4 to 6 points out in front between himself and Wisburn. Tyler also still there with only 2 rounds left, as he's on 102 points with Rio Harris on 128, Wisburn on 122. Looks like D-Move's going to be out of it. I think the top 4 are the only contenders mathematically in the Drivers' Championship now, but I think D-Move will be the first to be crossed off of that list once we go to the next race around Brazil, and it will end off F124 and Season 11 once we head to Silverstone for the last race in 2 weeks' time. Other than that, though, I've Miss Cookie, and this has been Season 11, Round 6 for Australia. I'm going to go now because my throat is absolutely killing me. Thank you all, and goodbye.